you grew up riding the subway by yourself and playing ball in Rucker Park. I want to know how that shaped your basketball career, not only necessarily as a player, but your entire maybe philosophy of the game, Nancy.
It's interesting watching The Last Dance and seeing my friend Michael and having known him since he got into the league and his mental focus, and then seeing how it affected Kobe Bryant. When I was in high school playing on USA teams, and I'm going to answer your question, I was competing against the greatest players in the country. My teammate was Pat Summitt, who then would coach me on USA teams. Tennessee, Old Dominion would play against each other. I played for Pat Riley. I had no nonsense kind of coaches that were in your face and demanded your concentration, your discipline, and your sacrifice. So that was part of who I was on the court, but how I got there out of New York. And I don't look at myself as a victim. I look at myself as somebody who's a victor. I had a tough childhood. I had a very angry childhood. And I didn't have a father at home. There were days that we didn't have food or electricity. And I was angry at people, back in the 60s and 70s, there was no Title IX, there was no gender equity, there was no WNBA. You were a tomboy if you played sports. And I got tired of people making fun of me and telling me what I can't be. And, well, why can't you be like your brother who wants to be a doctor? And I said, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a professional athlete. So I don't know why I knew at 10 years old that I wanted to be a professional. I wanted to be a basketball player for that. I had played baseball and football prior to that. But I grew up angry. So I took it out on everybody else. I just played hard. I got into fights. I was very aggressive because I didn't have conflict resolution at that time. And then when I heard the greatest players, play at Rucker Park, I mean, it's mythical of the players from Julius to Kareem to so many others that played at the park. And so I actually took $2 from my mom's wallet, and she didn't know it. And I said, I'm going to the park. So she thought I was going to PS 104 across the street. And I got on the A train. I went into downtown Far Rockaway, got on the A train, took it into Manhattan, switched trains, got on the E, took the E into Harlem on 155th and Malcolm X Boulevard. And it was crazy. I would just walk into the park. I had like a jacket, but I had T-shirts in it. So I would look bigger on the train. I'd like glare at people, like do it to them before they do it to you.
Right.
And I was a skinny little redheaded girl. And I would walk into Rucker and I brought my ball, and this guy goes, little girl, are you lost? I said, no, are you? Because I twerked like that, when I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
And so they came over to me and they said, you know where you are? I said, yeah, this is Rucker Park. Is your name Rucker? And the kid said, no. I said, good, it ain't your park. So that was sort of my attitude. And it kind of crossed so many barriers of respect because they knew I wasn't afraid. Stupidly, I was not afraid. These guys became my friends. They helped me. They toughened me up. They played hard. They would ride the train home to Far Rockaway with me and make sure that I got home safely. Actually, growing up, the Black athlete, these guys, they protected me. They championed me. And I'm really grateful for that in my career.
Well, we down here are certainly grateful that you decided to leave New York City and get off the subway train and come down here to coastal Virginia. Take us back to the late 70s, your decision to decide to come down to ODU. Was it a toss-up between a couple different schools? What was it about this lovely institution that obviously helped make your history-making decision?
I was very fortunate because I was the only high school kid in 75, 76 who was at the USA tryout. So I didn't have to take visits. The coaches were there, and coaches would come up and talk to me about their school and their program. And I really wanted to go to Cal State Fullerton. That's where I wanted to go because that's where Billy Moore, my Olympic coach, was, and I wanted to play for her. But I was afraid that if I went all the way from New York to LA and Billy left Cal State, and there were rumors that she was going to go to UCLA, like, what am I going to do? I have no money. I can't fly home. I'd be stuck in California with no friends, no family, nothing. So I did have over 100 scholarship offers. And, I looked at Tennessee, and I looked at, like I said, Cal State Fullerton, and, Queens College, St. John's, Maryland, some local schools. But I had made a decision. I kind of always felt like I was an underdog. Nancy can't do this. Nancy can't do that. You can't do that. You're a girl. You can't do that because you're too young. And I was of the ilk, I'm going to prove people wrong. So I literally took the school with the worst record, which was Old Dominion. And I drove down with my best friend, Barbara. It was only like a 7-hour drive from Far Rockaway through Delaware. And I said, I'm going to go to Old Dominion. And everybody was like, what do you mean? Who's Old Dominion? I said, they suck. That's my school. And it was crazy, but 7 freshmen came in, Ingnissen and myself. And I had met Ing the year before. It's crazy. But after my grandfather died, I wasn't sure that I was going to go to college. I was thinking about turning pro and just going straight and into Europe to play at that time. So there was a team in France called Clermont University Club. And the greatest women's basketball player of that era, her name was Jackie Cheslon, was retiring. She was like Pete Meredith. She was unbelievable.
Wow, yeah.
They made an offer to me to come to France to kind of mentor me as her replacement. So I flew to the southern part of France when I was 16, my junior year in high school. It's probably some sort of a violation now that I think about it. And one of the players on that team was Ingnissen. Isn't that just crazy twist of fate? I mean, in a perfect world, how the heck am I going to the south of France at 16?
Right.
So I practiced with the team for a couple of days. Then I was getting ready to go back, and Ing said, I'd like to meet with you. So she came to my hotel. We sat, we talked. Ing was so sophisticated. I was just, a young knucklehead from New York. Ing was sophisticated, smoking a cigarette, having a glass of wine. And I'm probably, eating licorice or something as she's eating pate. So she says, where are you going to go to college in the States? Excuse me. And I said, well, I'm thinking about going to Old Dominion. I said, it'd be pretty cool. These people stink. They could use us. And I gave her Pam Parsons' number and information, and I got to campus and, ready to go in, I think, August. And there was Ingnissen on campus. And I was like, damn.
It worked out.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever told that story, but that's how Ing got to Old Dominion.
Jeez. All right, so of all the stuff that you have accomplished, truly, in every aspect of the word, you are a pioneer in the game, men's and women's. Can you compartmentalize and maybe say what you are most proud of, Nancy, or do you kind of look at things in different stages or phases?
Well, obviously, I've had a long career, and I'm very blessed to be relevant in 2020 when I'm an athlete from the 80s. So I'd like to say I did something right to stay not only visible, but to stay impactful and to try and do things within this thing called sports, which I dearly love, and I have a lot of gratefulness to. I will say this, my 4 years at Old Dominion were the most profound that I could ever express. I am deeply grateful to the Lady Monarchs, to Dr. Jarrett, to Debbie Byrne, Debbie White, Debbie, however marriages you've had and changed your last name, and I love you, and my teammates, because I needed, you guys thought you needed me, but I needed you more because it took me out of New York City and helped me grow and helped me develop. I'm thankful to Mr. Wilkins from Wilkins Chevrolet, when I first met him, when I came to campus, and Harry and Pam Lozon. Harry became like the dad that I never had. So it was really important to me for my development because I was so laser focused on one thing, and that one thing was winning, because I wanted to win. I needed to win. In looking at The Last Dance, I was talking to one of my teammates last night, Chris Cartelli, and I was like, man, I must have been like hell on wheels with you guys in practice every day. And she says, no, we understood your competitiveness. We wanted to be that way. We were that way. And, like my freshman year, we made a pact in the locker room. The guy initiated the pact. There was 7 freshmen, and we all sat down and it was like, okay, whose job are you taking? I'm taking Debbie Richards. Who's taking Yvette Baggett? Who's taking Sue Davy? Who's taking Wendy Larry's? It was like, no, every day in practice, we take somebody's position. We are going to elevate ourselves. I don't know if I said it that eloquently. It was more like, yeah, every day we go out there, we just gonna kick their ass and hope they quit. It was more like that. But we were so competitive, the 7 of us. And even though we were young, we wanted to be successful. And I think we went 23-9 our first year and got into the top 10. And, we never looked back. And then we get Marianne Stanley. And, Mary's just the best of the best. And one of the greatest coaches I've ever played for. And I've played for Pat Riley and Summit and Dean Meminger and Jody Conrad and Sue Gunner. And I've played for a lot of great coaches. Marianne is unbelievable. She's like a vault upstairs, what she knows about this game.
We're up against the clock, but I can't get you out of here without asking about.
You're fine. I'm good on time.
Here at ODU, somebody that I'm sure you have crossed paths with all of her Team USA accolades and her relationship with Nikki. Delisha coming in to run this program. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, Nikki McCrae was a wonderful coach, a great friend for many years. And I admired her in college and the WNBA. And then when she became a Lady Monarch coach and really lifted us back to an amazing level. I was happy to see her leave, but sorry to see her leave. And then to be able to get someone who has been as accomplished as a player, she's grinded as a coach. The same thing with Delisha Milton. Delisha and I were talking a few days before she was getting ready to get interviewed. And she told me something that was very impactful to her. So I was doing TV for ESPN, and Florida was playing, and I said Delisha Milton is the best player in the country you've never heard of. And she said that it inspired her that she could be great. And that's exactly what she did on her own merit. She was a champion in the WNBA. She was a champion USA basketball. She's got that experience. Nothing scares her. When your nickname is D Nasty, that tells you right there she's not afraid of anything. She was a tough competitor. Do not allow her smile to convince you she doesn't want to kick your behind, because she does. And, it's a family thing with her husband, and they both love this game. They poured in, many, many hours. So to have Delisha now at the helm for the Lady Monarchs and taking over a program where the cupboards are full, she's going to be fantastic. She really is. And you want somebody who wants this job. She wanted this job. And I don't think Wood could have made a better hire for this time for Old Dominion University. And she'll be great with Jeff and the other coaches. You know, we're very proud Monarchs. I'm telling you, I'm on a thread. It's almost weekly with Ronnie Valentine, with Tommy Conrad, with Mark West, Kenny Gaddison, Reese Nealon, Jay Harris.
Just keeping tabs.
This is what we do. We are thicker than thieves. Kent Bazemore, when Annie D was alive, Tisha Panachero, Jan Tremblay is blowing up my phone right now. I stay in touch, and we stay in touch with each other. We have a very deep relationship with one another, and we're very proud of the university. And we only want to see, you know, President Broderick and leadership take it to a substantial level.